She got hired for a 10 lakh CTC. So, we have students who've gone abroad. Companies are really embracing ACCA in India. We have close to 35% of our candidates in this month hired only in the Big Four. Yeah, because this question has been asked so many times over the last 10 years, 12 years, I don't know how long. And every year on year, more students are taking up ACCA, more companies are hiring ACCAs. We have people who started companies because of their base qualification as ACCA. Recently, we had one of our students, Mansi. She got hired for a 10 lakh CTC. With zero experience, work experience so far. And she actually not even completed all her 13 papers. And this company called ACCA, they are ready to take on candidates who are ACCAs on their way to completion without any experience at such packages. So, we have students who've gone abroad, we have students who have with experience taken up ACCA and then gotten a better opportunity. So the list goes on and on. So I think that career prospect wise, people need to stop questioning this point about whether ACCAs have any prospects or not. Yeah, ACCA has a lot of prospects. If I talk about just India, in the professional world, the companies like the Big Four, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, EY, Grant Thornton, we just had a massive deal with Grant Thornton where they're changing their policy of hiring ACCA specifically for Zell candidates because of the leave policy that ACCAs are more beneficial for, different from articleship that CAs have. So companies are really embracing ACCA in India. You can work in these kind of companies. You talk about Indian companies, Motilal, Anand Rathi, HDFC, these kind of companies have hired from us. So when I talk about India in a professional journey, there is a ton of opportunities. You can get into advisory, into consulting, into accounting, into finance, into banking. It goes on and on. When I talk about students moving overseas, we've had people who have obviously, after certain experience and a lot of their effort, a lot of luck, they're getting opportunities in Dubai, in London, in Singapore, in Canada, in Australia. So that's the overseas journey. When it comes to starting your own companies, I've had ACCAs who started AI companies, investment banks. I mean, I know people who are ACCAs and are helping their family businesses in a totally different sector. So I think that prospect-wise also you can do multiple things if your base qualification is ACCA. This question is again asked so many times. I was sitting with my placement team yesterday. We have close to 35% of our candidates in this month hired only in the Big Four, Big Six. I'm including Grant Thornton and BDO. So in India, yes, we've had a couple of years back, we did a conclave, finance conclave with ENY, where we had partners as well as HR heads who are coming and are openly discussing that yes, they will hire ACCAs. Of course, we are working with companies like Deloitte. They are open to hiring ACCAs because they also want people when ACCAs are studying as well as members to hire. So in India, ACCAs are again hired by the Big Four. And yes, when it comes to going overseas, I've had again so many candidates, so many people who worked in the Big Four in London, gotten opportunities from Australia. The thing about going overseas is that you can't decide that sitting here in India, if you're especially an Indian. You need to have a lot of luck as well as effort, your experience, the timing of the market, the economy of that country, all of that has to make sense for you to get an opportunity. But if the question is, do other countries have ACCAs working in the Big Four? Answer is a flat yes. Average starting salary ranges between 7 to 10 lakhs. We've had, like I said, we had a student, Mansi, who got 10 lakhs with zero work experience and actually was not even completed all the 13 papers. She's on her way. So the salary band is going higher and higher. Yeah, see, look, the decision of whether you should do ACCA, CPA or MBA is actually dependent on what you want to do in life. ACCA people do because A, they want to do something which is applicable in India and overseas and has the same value as CA. You can get done in a span of 2 to 3 years, and unlike CA, you don't have to give it in groups. You can focus on one paper at a time and give these exams. If you want to specifically go to the US, or you are already a working professional, you are a chartered accountant and you know that doing CPA will get you a boost, then you specifically do CPA, but you need to know why you're doing it. ACCA you can do whether you're in college or a graduate, you can do from the beginning only with wanting to keep all doors open. CPA is more clear and specific And MBA again, same, right? You are a graduate, you know why you want to do an MBA in finance. Is the company you're working in going to reward you for it? Do you want to learn business administration in finance? Are you going to get in the top 20 MBA institutes? If not, then you should not do MBA. So a lot of these criteria matter. It's not the right comparison. It's a lot on the actual reasoning of why you're taking up any of these qualifications. You can take between 2 to 3 years to complete if you start from scratch. It can go longer, but we always ask our students to, stick in that 2 to 3 year range. That means you've got to give between around 6 papers in a year, which is actually possible, especially if you're just in college. If you're working, you can still give 4 to 6 papers depending on your capability. So completing it in 2 to 3 years is fine. Plus, if you are getting exemptions, right? So if you're a BCom graduate, you get one level exempted. So that whole time frame falls by almost 1 year. And if you're a chartered accountant or you got in 9 exemptions like some candidates, you can complete the final 4 papers in just 6 months if you are on track. There are 13 exams in ACCA. Knowledge, skill, and professional are the 3 levels. Knowledge has 3 papers, skill has 6 papers, and professional has 4 papers. It ranges anywhere between 100 to around 150-ish pounds. It keeps evolving every year, but for an Indian student, you can take around 10,000 to maybe 15,000 average per paper. You can, first of all, you don't have any eligibility criteria. You can actually start even if you are in grade 10 or just given grade 10. There is a specific route called the FIA route. So many students, we have over 500 students who are taking up that FIA route. So if you have any doubt in that, you can let us know. Otherwise, if you've given grade 12, then the technical criteria is you need 65% in accounts or maths and English, and you need 50% in the rest of the subjects to become eligible for ACCA. But I think people get confused in this, so think of it as that anybody can do ACCA. It doesn't matter whether you've given 12, whether you've gotten these marks, whether you're in the field of commerce. So as long as you want to do ACCA, the body is allowing you to start the qualification with absolutely, you just have to put in the effort. The criteria is not important. It's about will you put in the time to pass these exams. So exams are conducted 4 times a year, every March, June, September, December for the skill and professional level papers. However, the knowledge level papers are what we call on demand. So let's say if Keshav wants to give the exam, you study for the first paper, you study for 2 months, you've given the mocks, you feel you're prepared, you basically have to call us. So we are a licensed exam center. You call us and say, I want to give the exam on Monday at 10 a.m. If there is a slot available, you come, give the exam 10 to 12. It's all multiple choice. Give the exam, pass, move on to the next paper. That's what happens for the knowledge level on-demand papers. Yes, everybody is doing ACCA either with college or a job, and in many cases with both. I personally used to study, so I used to go to college, 7 to like 10ish in the morning when I would run for my work or articleship equivalent. Work till 7, 8 in the evening, go home, get, just have dinner, etc. And then 9, 10 onwards till 1, 2 in the night, I would study. So I did that for 2.5 years. And I think a lot of people are doing that. If you're only working, you can study in the morning or evening. Make sure you study on the weekends and take a leave of at least 1 week before the actual exam. You can manage it. If you're in college, then please spend as much as time as you can. Give multiple exams, clear them so that by the time you are actually in the real world, you have a lot of value, a lot of knowledge. You can jumpstart your career in a faster, accelerated manner. So the ACCA requires you to have 3 years of work experience in total in the field of finance and accounts. So by that I mean you can work before you start your exams, with your exams, or after your exams. You can do it in bits and parts. You don't have to do it in 3 years in a row. But yes, total you need 3 years of work experience. That's one part. You also need to complete something called performance objectives, as well as complete what we call the ethics module. These 3 things are what we call practical experience requirement, PER. We made videos on that, so you can put the link here. And students need to ensure that if they complete the exams, they are called ACCA affiliates. But when they complete exams and PER, they are called ACCA members. The simplest way to think about passing is ensuring that you spend majority time solving questions and without fail, at least in the last 10 days, you have to give mock exams in real exam-like conditions, which means lock your door, throw the key away. An exam on an average is 3 hours 15 minutes. For those 3 hours, you are solving every question with no shortcuts, not like reading a question and thinking, I know the answer, so skipping. Give it diligently, and after you're done, check your own score. You will, so imagine your first mock you get 50, second mock you get 60, third mock you, for example, get 70, and when you go for the real exam, it's like your fourth mock. You're already so familiar with it, so comfortable that in the exam you have the highest chance of clearing. So solving questions, giving mock exams, the key elements of clearing ACCA in the first attempt.